In the news this week, Northern Ireland's Justice Minister wants a weaker abortion law, criticism grows for anti-extremist measures, and Nick Clegg refuses to back assisted suicide. Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. A consultation on weakening abortion law in Northern Ireland has been launched. The Department of Justice is asking for views on allowing abortion in cases of fatal fetal abnormality and sexual crime. Justice Minister David Ford said he wants the law to change.
I'm putting forward a strong recommendation that we should legislate to allow terminations for women carrying a fetus that has no prospect of a viable life. I'm seeking opinions on the issue of sexual crime.
But pro-life campaigner Bernadette Smith said women in these situations deserve better than abortion, and that most people in the province are against a weaker law.
It's well known that the majority of people in Northern Ireland are pro-life and that they have campaigned and lobbied over the years to ensure that every unborn child is protected. So I think it's important that democracy is respected and upheld.
The consultation closes on the 17th of January. Go to the Christian Institute's Choose Life site for stories of women who refuse to abort in cases of rape and serious birth defects. A man from Northern Ireland who was born with no arms because his mother took thalidomide during pregnancy has said people should be valued for who they are, not what they can do. Brian Gault said he looks to his potential, not his limitations. He's written a book and is a popular public speaker. But he said if the law had allowed for abortion, his mother would have been under pressure to end his life before he was born.
I'm so thankful that the Abortion Act hadn't been in during that time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here today, being able to testify and to share of all the good things that I've been able to do in my life. If the doctor had come to my mother and said, Mrs. Gault, there's a potential that your child will have maybe no limbs, what would my mum have done? I'm sure there have been a lot of pressure on her to have aborted. And I am so thankful that my mum wasn't put under that pressure.
Brian's story is the latest in the Christian Institute's Choose Life series. You can find out more and watch other stories at christian.org.uk/chooselife. The Spectator magazine and homosexual rights campaigner Peter Tatchell have joined the Christian Institute in attacking Theresa May's extremist disruption orders. May announced the plans, which are to be included in the Conservative Party manifesto during the party's conference last week. The Spectator highlighted fears that the proposals would result in curtailing free speech amongst peaceful groups. The clear inference of her words is that people will soon find themselves on the wrong side of the law if they promulgate ideas which, though expressed in a peaceful fashion, are deemed to be extreme. Peter Tatchell tweeted opposition to the measures, describing them as vague and open to abuse. He added his voice to concerns that the plans are a threat to free speech. The extremist disruption orders would give police and the security services extended anti-terrorism powers, described by the Christian Institute as gagging orders. Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg has said that he would not back measures to legalise assisted suicide. Mr Clegg said he has observed how the law on assisted suicide works in different countries, including the Netherlands.
And I, as you perhaps know, I personally am not persuaded that it is sensible for the state to seek to capture in legislation decisions which, and I have some, that's because of my own family, I've seen how it works in other countries like the Netherlands. I personally am quite sceptical about the ability to capture what is a very, very delicate decision about when you endorse under the law the taking of someone's life.
During the question and answer session at the Lib Dem Party conference, Clegg said MPs should have a free vote on the issue because it was something of such profound personal conscience. Nick Clegg and David Cameron have both previously voiced opposition to assisted suicide. New figures show that euthanasia deaths in the Netherlands have risen from just under 2,000 in 2006 to almost 5,000 in 2013, a 151% increase over 7 years. Dr. Peter Saunders, campaign director of Care Not Killing, said this prompts fears about steady extension if Britain were to legalise assisted suicide. What we are seeing in the Netherlands is incremental extension. the steady intentional escalation of numbers with a gradual widening of the categories of patients to be included. And finally, Northern Ireland's new Health Minister has said he will continue to uphold the rights of the unborn. Jim Wells told the BBC he is firmly against any change to abortion law in the province. The interview was recorded before this week's move by Justice Minister David Ford to weaken the law.
I will always stand by the rights of the unborn child. I will not accept the introduction of the 1967 Act into Northern Ireland. In England, that has led to abortion on demand and the death of 7 million unborn children. The experts have told me there's 91,000 people in Northern Ireland who are alive today who wouldn't be if we had the 67 Act here. So I don't believe we're lagging behind the times. I believe we're more progressive in terms of protecting the life of the unborn child.
He also said he would not drop his principles when it comes to making public policy.
I'm not one of these people that leaves my personal views at the door of the Assembly. But obviously I'm here to do what's best for Northern Ireland. But I also believe, for instance, that protecting the unborn child, supporting the concept of marriage, I think things like that are actually best for society, as well as my own personal views. So I don't think there's any ultimate conflict between the two. I think you have to do what's best for everyone, but not abandon principles which I and so many other people in this province hold dear.
Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.